Aloha YouTube. What is up? Untied Hawaii here with another video. I get asked a lot through emails, through comments, DMs, private messages, the whole gamut of social media, but their question is if you could give me one tip on how to start reselling, what would that be? Because I mean, obviously reselling there's not one thing I can tell you to help you be a good reseller, I guess. It's a whole bunch of different things. You need to know marketing, you need to understand price points, you need to understand just market flow. There's a whole bunch of different things, but one thing that I know everybody can do and that everybody should do if you're gonna become a reseller or just, you know, try to sell a couple shoes here and there is to basically just be humble. It sounds childish, I guess. It sounds very like elementary, but that is literally the best information that I can give you. It's the philosophy that I always go by selling shoes, when doing these videos, doing anything. And I know that humility is there's a very gray area for that in the sneaker game, just because the sneaker game is built around hype and built around stunting, you know, showing off, being cool, all of this stuff, having the freshest sneakers, just looking dope. But there's a certain level where it's just kind of too much, you know, and people start disrespecting you for that, or they're just kind of like shove you on the side because it's like, man, this guy's really like all about himself. And I don't think that's a good way to run a business. I'm not sure if you guys think that, but me personally, I wouldn't want to run a business or even go to a business that somebody's just over there thinking they're the shiz, and then at the same time they're trying to sell you something. It's like, come on, man, like I'm not gonna buy that from you. That's messed up. So being humble, what does that mean? It just means not pricing things absorbently high, not posting that you got, I don't know, like 10 pairs of kicks from using a bot system. Like bot systems is a whole nother thing. I don't want to deal with that right now. I hate bots. Kind of moving off on a tangent. There's this guy, I don't know who he is, some Asian dude that's on Insta, but he shows like he has like hundreds of pairs of like Yeezys pre-release and all of this stuff, and I just look at that guy and I'm like, you're kind of a D. Why would you do this? That is the kind of reseller that you should not be. The kind that has a really bad reputation for everybody else that's reselling, where there's people like that are botting carts, doing all of this like really like sketchy and just not very clean business practices, you know. And like, I know there's going to be arguments. I'm sure you guys will argue in the comments saying, well, if you want to be part of the game, you kind of have to adapt and do all this bot system stuff to stay relevant. But honestly, I've never used a bot, and I would say I'm doing pretty well. I sell like at least 3 to 4 sneakers a day through various apps in my store and whatnot, and I make a good amount of money doing it. Never had to use a bot, never had to do anything sketchy like that, and I attribute most of that to, like I said, just staying humble and staying true to the goal of what I'm trying to do, and that's create a business. Like I said, you don't want to go into business with somebody that's gonna be D. Make friends in this sneaker game. Don't like create clients, create friends. Like, if you're gonna sell shoes, I don't care if it's online or if it's in person, be a genuine person. For instance, if somebody's online asking you about prices of shoes and stuff, don't give them like snobby answers or whatever. If they're like undercutting you on price, like, you know what a low ball is. You don't need to respond. Just kind of sweep it off. If it's really like an offer that you don't agree with, just don't answer the email. It's as simple as that. For the most part, for me, I try to answer every single email. If somebody gives me an offer and I think that's way too low, I just humbly decline, say sorry, I can't do that price. If somebody in person is asking for low balls and whatnot, it's the same thing. You don't want to come off as like, are you serious, dude? Like, what the heck is wrong with you? That doesn't do anything for your business. That just makes you look like a D, and it can make a bad reputation for you as somebody that like can't run a business. You got to remember, like I said, I posted out a Twitter post about it, but average age of a sneakerhead is 19, and there's a lot of older people in the game, 30s and up, but that number is a median because there's also a lot of kids in the game as well on the lower spectrum. So like 12, 13, 14 year olds when they come up. You got to think, like, if you're 12 or 13, you don't really have business knowledge. So obviously you're going to try to get a shoe for the lowest possible value you can, and you're going to sell a shoe for the highest possible value you can. And it's because they don't really know any better, so don't knock them for that, you know? I'm sure when you were that age, you try to do the same thing. It's called a hustle. And if they can only have one shoe to sell, that's what they kind of have to do, you know? Price it crazy high and all of this. But if that's not for you, you kind of just sweep it away. Like I said, move on. There's other buyers, things like that. But don't ruin a potential business partner slash client slash friend by just being a jerk and writing that guy off completely. Like, it doesn't work like that. That's not how any business is. You want to keep a moving clientele list of, you know, just people that will consistently buy shoes from you. So for instance, in face-to-face meetups in Oahu and whatnot, I have quite a number of people on my phone that ask me all the time, so do you have shoes in this size, this size, this size? And I've sold multiple pairs to the same person, to the point where I don't even need to post the shoes on forums or anything. They kind of just ask, and if I have something, they'll buy it. When I meet them in person, they don't even bother to open up the box. You know why? Because they trust me. Because I don't come off as somebody that will do them wrong or steer them the wrong way. And to me, that's awesome. Like, I really love that. I love creating relationships with people, not just, oh, here's a pair of shoes, like, that's it. Whenever I meet somebody, I try to figure out a little bit about them, ask them how they're doing, how they got into the sneaker game, things like that. And you know, it just kind of creates like that bond where they'll come back and they'll be like not only just a one-time deal where you make one sale and that's it. I don't mean it to be like you want to forcefully do that, because I don't know, for some people that might not be the case. Like, it's just hard for people to connect with people, I guess, like that. But it's not really hard to just be a sincere good person about it, you know. There's a lot of toxicity in the sneaker game, and I mean, I just don't want to attribute to that. I force myself to stay away from that. Anytime I see somebody getting flamed on the forums or anything, I choose not to get into that argument. People make mistakes, and you know, it's just, don't put your name on that, because that'll be what you're known for, is just being kind of a jerk, and that's not good. It's not a good way to run a business, and that's just not a good way to be a person, you know. So yeah, for the people that are asking, that is literally the best tip I can give you, is just to run a business like how you would like a business being ran. So you're not going to go into a Starbucks and go to that same Starbucks over and over if the barista is a complete D-bag to you and gives you really bad service. Like, you'll find a different Starbucks. It's the exact same concept if you're a sneaker reseller. There are a lot of people doing it. Like I said, there are a crazy amount of consignment shops. There's eBay, GOAT, StockX, there's all of these mediums. You need the buyer. The buyer does not need you. There are shoes on the market that he can find elsewhere. So that's the best advice I can give you. Sorry, it's kind of long-winded and not really straightforward, like, oh, you should do this on an Excel sheet, you should create this kind of business plan. But that is literally the first step that I've took to kind of creating what I've been doing, and I feel like it's been paying off for me, and I just hope it can pay off for you guys as well. So yeah, you guys don't need to take that info, but that is literally how I run my business, and I have found success in that. So hopefully you guys can take away from that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Not a beater box unboxing, but I feel like this is just valuable information that I can give you guys. In no way am I an expert in the resale game or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just getting started. You guys have seen me from start to finish right now. And yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to help you guys out. So thank you. Be on the lookout for the next video. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. If you guys haven't checked out the store, look in the description below. There's a link to the store. Got a lot of good deals on there. Always hit me up through email, and I can help you guys out if you guys need a little bit more. So, yep. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Aloha.